it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning, area.
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game.
Come on!
Oh, yes. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to this pregame show on a Thursday morning here in San Francisco. Welcome in if you're just getting off work, just getting ready for work, getting ready for school, just getting ready for the day, working out, what have you. Thank you for being here today with me. And, man, we got a lot to get to. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570 is the number if you would like to get involved. Xfinity Mobile text line, YouTube, Twitter, @Spadoni_Joe. And there's an awful lot to break down from what happened last night at Chase Center in San Francisco. Warriors 122, Grizzlies 120. And the first question I got to Warriors fans at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. You feeling better or worse about the Warriors' chances in the West this year? Because on one hand, you beat the cocky Memphis Grizzlies, the young upstart team that everyone's in love with. They do all their jawing. We're now quietly on a 4-game losing streak ever since Shannon Sharp punked them at formerly Staples Center, now Crypto Center in LA last week. But everyone's on, the bandwagon, whatever. Team front runner, Memphis Grizzlies, Dillon Brooks, Jaren Jackson, Bane, all those guys. But they consider themselves a rival with the Warriors? Really? What rivalry is there? The Warriors dominate them. Even when they don't even play well, they get the dub. The Warriors had 21 turnovers and won the game. That doesn't happen. 21 turnovers and won the game. Now, I asked the question, do you feel better or worse because of those turnovers? It was an ugly game. There were some bad turnovers by Jordan Poole, bad shot, decision-making towards the end there. Curry throwing the mouthpiece, getting ejected. We'll hear from Steve Kerr. We'll hear from Steph on that. Just so much going on and so much craziness in that game. It felt like it was an overtime game, but it wasn't. It was just a 3-hour just mess, if you will, but a beautiful mess because you got the win. That would have been one of those losses where you walked out of there like, you know what? That just sums up the Warriors season right there. Just nothing going right until the very end, and then you make some shots, and then you lose a heartbreaker. What have you been talking about here on the pregame show? It's been Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with the Warriors all season long. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Well, now they're back at 500. And we need to see those steps forward starting to increase more and more and more. They need to start climbing up the stairs here in the standings, if you will. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. If you would like to get involved, do you feel better or worse after last night's win about the Warriors' chances in the West? And since we're on the topic of rivalries, and I'm sure if you ask all the Warriors players, this is not a rivalry, but it is funny how this Memphis Grizzlies team seems to piss off the Warriors so much. For a team that you own, if you're the Warriors, and you're Steph, and you're Draymond, and you're Clay, and you're Steve Kerr, God, that team really seems to get under your skin, doesn't it? Warriors fans, be honest. John Morant, Dillon Brooks, those guys get under your skin a little bit. But how good did it feel to get that dub last night? 122 to 120. Klay Thompson, 24. Jordan Poole, 21. Steph leading the way with 34 points. Does get ejected towards the end there. About a minute left in the game. Doesn't cost them. Jordan Poole with the redemption after so many boneheaded plays there towards the end. And here's how it sounded on 95.7 The Game with the great Tim Roy.
DiVincenzo will throw it in. Draymond Green orchestrating. Thompson curls right. He's not open. Pass to Poole inside. Layup is up and good. He scored it with a second to go. Zaire Williams will throw it in the baseline. Waiting, looking. Throws into Bane. Bane will just chuck it down the floor. It's no good. The Warriors get the win. Poole went backdoor on the baseline. 122 to 120. Unbelievable.
Was unbelievable. That whole game was kind of unbelievable when you just watched it unfold. The first quarter was just mess after mess. All these turnovers, boneheaded plays, fouls. Hell, Steph had 2 fouls within the first minute. He was complaining constantly that he wasn't getting any calls on the offensive end. A lot of runners that should have been and ones, didn't get the call. Kept it in. And then the Jordan Poole, just that inexplicable 3 he was taking when you were trying to milk the clock with a lead, try to kill some clock with getting into that last minute, just a logo 3, and got Steph pretty pissed off. And here's how it sounded: the technical foul and Steph Curry in the ejection.
Warriors could have run some more clock there. Poole misfires, 116-114, and a technical foul has been called on Curry. And he's been ejected. Gediminas Petritis ejected him. Gediminas Petritis has ejected Curry on a play ahead of the play. There was nothing going on there except the bench was jawing at Curry, and he's been ejected from the game. That's astounding. It's astounding. It's ridiculous. It has not been a good night for 3 guys in gray shirts tonight.
We've heard that all season. The referees in the league, it's been a problem. The NBA, this has kind of been one of the worst regular seasons I could remember in a long time. Just top to bottom. Guys sitting out, meaningless games, a mess in the West. Everything's wide open. Parity is at an all-time high. It's been a mess of a regular season. I haven't been interested in watching any of these primetime quote-unquote games because guys have been sitting. What's a rivalry? What's not? It feels like traditional rivalries are fading out. Although, again, when we get a young upstart team like the Memphis Grizzlies, and by the way, sorry, squirrel here for a second, as Damon likes to say on his show. Jeremias Petritis, was that his name? Let me hear if I heard that again.
Warriors could have run some more clock there. Poole misfires, 116-114, and a technical foul has been called on Curry. And he's been ejected. Gediminas Petritis ejected.
Gediminas Petritis? That's an all-time name for an official. Kind of makes you even more pissed off that that's his name and he ejected Steph Curry. My God. It's been a mess. And you know what? This Warriors season's been a mess, and that game kind of culminated this whole season in one, I feel like. But you know what? At the end of the day, like the Warriors usually do, with Steph, Dre, and Clay, they got the job done, and they got the dub. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Are you more confident in the Warriors' chances of winning a title after last night, or less confident? Plus, follow-up question, who's the one team that gets under your skin? Any sport, doesn't matter. Let me know that one team that you cannot stand. They don't even have to be good. Hell, the Warriors, they've owned the Memphis Grizzlies. They're not scared of them. Yeah, they're the new kids on the block, if you will. Shout out Donnie Wahlberg. But they're not scared. Time in and time out, I watched that Memphis Grizzlies team going up against, hell, they're on this 4-game losing streak, against the Suns, against the Warriors, hell, even against the Lakers. Something at the end, they need another shot creator. I don't know what, but Ja just can't be it. He can't be that guy. Dylan Brooks, he's not that guy. We saw that in the playoffs last year. He got shook when it mattered most at Chase Center. We know what kind of player he is, what he did in the playoffs. But when I look at this Warriors team, there is not one team in the Western Conference that I am scared of. Nuggets? Yeah. Not scared of them. Clippers? No. Good players. Kawhi, Paul George. I need to see it first. What have they ever won with that team? I know Paul George hasn't won anything. I know Kawhi won a title, whatever that was now, 4 years ago with the Raptors. So, listen, this Western Conference is wide open, and there is no other team I'm taking right now other than the Golden State Warriors. You can say, Spadoni, what the hell are you talking about? They looked like crap for most of last night. Yeah, and so was the West. That was one of the top Western Conference teams you just beat in the Memphis Grizzlies. Are you scared of them? I'm not. If I'm a Warriors fan, I'm not scared of them. I know Steph, Dre, and Clay aren't, and all the other people on that. And by the way, real quick, I'm burying the lead here. Jonathan Kuminga. Whew. Somehow was minus 16 and had the worst plus minus of the Warriors. But he was showing his flashes of athleticism. I know he had the 4 turnovers. Those were a problem. But he is showing you that athleticism that they were sorely missing when he was out. That left-handed dunk he had, my goodness. He's going to be a special player. 707 from the Xfinity Mobile text line. Great win for the Dubs. Hopefully they can pile wins together to gain some momentum. But I'm looking forward to Sunday. Let's go Niners. And then one thing that gets under my skin, the one team that is the Seahawks. F the Seahawks. There you go. That Pete Carroll. That win had to have felt good if you're a Niner fan, though, a couple weeks ago in the wild card round. So again, 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570, Xfinity Mobile text line. Do you feel better or worse about the Warriors' chances in the West after last night's win? Plus, what is the one team that truly gets under your skin? Any sport, doesn't matter. Hell, it could be a high school rival for all I care. That one team that you cannot stand. I know for a lot of people, it's Chris Paul, whatever team he's on. A lot of Warriors fans, that was the case. LeBron, same thing. There's maybe certain players that you just, by default, you hate that team that they're on. That could be true. But the blue-blooded rivalries, like the 49ers from the 707 just said, the Seahawks, right? Cowboys, just certain colors. Like, for me, you guys know, talk about it all the time, Kansas City Chiefs. Can't stand them. It's not that I have anything personal against Patrick Mahomes. He's just too good. Andy Reid, they keep winning all the time. Can't stand it. That stupid tomahawk chop chant that they do. The stadium, everything. The slurping from the media constantly, and I know I'm part of the media. I'm talking about it right now. But God, drives me nuts. From Legendary Great on the YouTube chat, we need to stop fouling / getting foul baited. Poole getting Curry thrown out. LOL. I'm not scared of any team in the West, regardless of the seed. Those are quick rat-a-tat-tat takes. I like that. Legendary Great. Appreciate you chiming in on the YouTube chat. Yeah, that was... Poole had that Dumb and Dumber. Just when I thought you couldn't be any dumber. And you totally redeem yourself. Let's listen to it one more time from the great Tim Roy.
DiVincenzo will throw it in. Draymond Green orchestrating. Thompson curls right. He's not open. Pass to Poole inside. Layup is up and good. He scored it with a second to go. Zaire Williams will throw it in on the baseline. Waiting, looking. Throws into Bane. Bane will just chuck it down the floor. It's no good. The Warriors get the win. Poole went backdoor on the baseline. 122 to 120. Unbelievable.
Tim's the GOAT. He's so good. The great Tim Roy. The California Sportscaster of the Year? Something like that? I'm sorry, Tim, if you're listening. I'm butchering this. You won a great award in California, and we appreciate you here on 95.7 The Game, and I'm sure all Warriors fans do. Hell of a call there, right here on 95.7 The Game. We had all that action. And we have all that action for you again tomorrow as the Warriors take on the Raptors. They do take on the Raptors tomorrow, and that will be at Chase Center. So get all your tickets at Warriors.com. That's one of those games where that would be a letdown. Again, if you're the Warriors and you want to turn a page, you cannot have a letdown against the Toronto Raptors. Not a very good team. You know, they're kind of in that, let's play really well right now because we're going to be trading a lot of people. They're 22-27. Not doing too great. They're 12th in the East. They're looking like they're going to be sellers. Can't lose to that team tomorrow at Chase Center. Cannot. If you need to start stacking wins and stacking W's, starts tomorrow night. Emotional win last night. Gutsy, some might say, or gutless if you're the Steiny and Guru show. Shout out Matt Steinmetz. Gutless. Oh, Steiny. He was on chat he was on chat. He was on fire in the Steiny Guru E-Dog chat last night. I'll let him have his thoughts on his show. Just some peak Matt Steinmetz in the chat last night. Hilarious. Brickhead family on the YouTube chat. As a Cubs fan, can't stand the Cardinals. I feel that. Something about the color red. I have never been on a red team in my life. I have never rooted for a red team in my life. Something about that color red, whatever it's football, basketball, baseball, it's triggering to me. Whether it's the Angels, a Mike Trout, if you're a Giants fan, the Cardinals is a good one. All that. Parrot, I can never pronounce your name right. Parrots run the earth. That's why I'm just going to keep saying parrots on the YouTube chat. I've hated the Chiefs from the early 70s. Thank you. I hate the Braves, but I'm ashamed I was rooting for them against the Dodgers. There you go. I think a lot of Giants fans were. You always root for the team. It's the lesser of two evils, right? That's what you go for. So let's say it was, I was just thinking of a nightmare scenario in the Western Conference Finals for Warriors fans. You're thinking of Grizzlies versus Lakers. I mean, oh, God. I'm not even going to put that into fruition. That's lose-lose there. You're just rooting for the East at that point. Legendary great Tim Roy the GOAT. He is. Tim Roy. He's our GOAT right here on 95.7 The Game. 650 on the Xfinity mobile text line weighing in. My opinion is that faith works in mysterious ways, but if you look at it when they're behind 10 or so points, but as we play in the streets in ways of our... Yeah, that's too much. This is a paragraph. Can't read that. 925. I can't stand the Houston Astros. Thank you. Cheaters. Also, Carlos Correa's former team, so you have double ways to hate them now, but mainly because they're cheaters. Trash can, the Trastros, as we like to call them. And they are the cheaters until all those guys are off that team. Altuve, Bregman, Verlander, all those guys. Can't stand them. I know we're happy for Dusty Baker, but salty A's fan here, I was not happy to see any of those Houston Astros celebrating. Cannot stand them. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Warriors take out the Memphis Grizzlies last night at Chase Center, 122-120. Last second backdoor cut from Jordan Poole to take the lead with a second left. They hold on for the victory. They improved to 500 on the season, and they await the Toronto Raptors tomorrow at Chase Center, and we'll have all that coverage for you right here on 95.7 The Game. Steve Kerr, after the game, talking about Steph Curry's ejection with over a minute left in the game.
I didn't see what happened at the time, so when the ref called it, I was confused. And then the coach told me he threw the mouthpiece down out of anger, and I guess he throw it into the stands on the side. Yeah. So I think that's automatic ejection. So he knows he can't make that mistake again.
Yeah, every time Stephen Curry has been ejected, or at least the last 3 times anyways, it's been mouthpiece related. It's kind of funny. I mean, you don't want to see your star player thrown out, but Steph in that mouthpiece, something triggers him, and he's got to throw that thing. Then, hey, we saw it. What was it? Finals? Playoffs? Fuzzy memory here. Father of 2, forgive me. We were talking about it yesterday about how on Willard and Dibbs, how Kyle Madsen in for Mark Willard, and Dibbs and Kyle are talking about certain memories and how we awe at Bonta Hill and Joe Shasky, and they can remember certain things about sports that I used to be able to remember. And after these last 3 years, all of that useless sports knowledge, well, it's not useless anymore now that I'm talking to you all, every Monday through Friday at 5 to 6. But some of that useless sports knowledge is now gone, and it's replaced with baby knowledge, and I don't think it's ever going to come back. And maybe that's just a part of getting older, but yeah, 2 kids, they occupy a lot of space now in that brain. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. The ejection was dumb. We got to be better. Like, I understand it's an automatic ejection. He wasn't being malicious and throwing it at any one person. He just threw it in anger and frustration. But I understand it's an object. You can't be throwing things around. It's the same thing with the ball. If you throw it into the stands and whatnot, or just throw it to the side, it's almost always an automatic ejection. But I just think there should be room for interpretation. Is that so hard? Like the zero tolerance thing for certain actions, I understand. But if we could have a guy like Shannon Sharp get onto the court and almost get into a fight with Memphis Grizzlies players and then be allowed to sit back on the court and then taunt them again throughout the game, I think we could have a little leeway with the actual players on the court. I don't know if that's crazy. Is that a crazy thought here? Maybe have more leeway with the actual players than the fans in the stands? Because that's who we're all wanting to see. We're not here to see, so-and-so talking smack and whatnot on the side. We're here to see Stephen Curry freaking win the game. And he would have. I'm fairly confident we wouldn't have seen those pool turnovers towards the end and nearly botch it. Steph Curry would have had the ball in his hand, and now he's been prone to turnovers in the clutch before. We've seen it this season and seen it his whole career. But I would have liked, and I'm sure the fans at Chase would have liked to see their guy Stephen Curry close that game out. Here's Steph on embracing Jordan Poole after the game of the tunnel.
JP came out the gates in the fourth quarter, made some big shots and got us, some energy. Then I came in and tried to pick it where he left off, and we got the lead, and it's kind of a back and forth type game. And in that possession he's talking about, I throw my mouthpiece, the whole deal. Like the way that we responded after that just shows you how much it matters to us, and our energy and our intentions are there. We just have to, continue to be honest about how our IQ is matching up with that, in terms of how we're finishing games and how we're executing in the details. Throughout the game, but to see the guys bounce back the way they did and finish the job, a lot of celebrations in the tunnel.
Great adversity win, absolutely. Can they build off this? That's what we've been asking this whole season. Are you going to build something off of this? You're 24-24. Sooner or later, hell, we're getting to February soon. Next week is February. It's go time now. You got to start stacking these wins. Because sooner or later, you're going to start flirting with the play-in game, and you don't want that smoke. You don't. You flirted with the play-in game once already before. Granted, you didn't have Klay Thompson. It was a different team. But we saw that what happened. LeBron hit a last-second shot there. Now you're hosting a game at home against these Memphis Grizzlies, and you lost. You do not want to be in a one-and-done scenario. So you need to start stacking these wins. The good news is everyone's within reach. The standings here are pretty wild in the Western Conference. You have the Nuggets leading the way at 34-15, followed by the Grizzlies, 31-17, Kings, all three of which Arnold just recently lost. Actually, the top 4 teams. Tossing the Pelicans at 26-23. They're on a 6-game losing streak. Only ones with the second most losing streak in the West are the Grizzlies, who have now lost 4 in a row. And the Clippers, Mavs, Suns, then your Warriors at the 8th seed, Timberwolves, Jazz, Thunder, Blazers, Lakers. So if you just go from that 4 seed all the way down to that 13 seed, there's 3 games separating them. 3 games from 4 all the way to 13. So there is an awful lot of basketball left to be played here down the stretch in the Western Conference. And again, I said it earlier, this has kind of been one of the, and I'm going to say it, worst regular seasons I could remember in NBA history. Like just from the amount of boneheaded plays, boneheaded referees, just load management, not caring about the regular season. And if the players aren't caring about the regular season, why should I? And the product has suffered. It suffered. Now, everything will get ramped back up towards the playoffs. We get all that. But if you want to capitalize on viewership and fan promotion and growing the game, we need the stars to be playing. And I need Stephen Kerr to be closing that game out last night. That's what I need to watch. Hell, he's missing every other game, it seems like, half the time. So when I pay money and I want to go see Stephen Curry play, I want my money's worth. I want to see my guy in the last minute of the game. I don't care that he threw a little mouthpiece on the side and was getting mad at his teammate. I don't care about that. I'm heated like Steph this morning. It was a good win, not a great win. How you feeling, Warriors fans? At 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. YouTube, hit me up on Twitter, at Spadoni_Joe. We're going to take a quick break here. Hear more from Steve Kerr, his post-game thoughts. Again, Warriors, they hang on to beat the Memphis Grizzlies 122-120. They improved to 24-24 on the season. At 500, they're currently the 8th seed in the West. When we come on back, more Warriors talk. Steve Kerr and his thoughts on the game on the other side. 95-7 The Game.
It's a huge day on Damon and Ratto.
Holy mackerel.
First up, Ron Jaws Jaworski at 3:30. Followed by our dear friend Joe Fortenbaugh at 4:15.
Game, wait for it, changer.
And last but not least, Steve Kerr at 5.
Steph is incredible. I mean, he's just made to be the face of the franchise.
Today on 95.7 The Game.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Fast just got a whole lot faster. Xfinity has the fastest internet with up to 6 gig speed. Plus, Xfinity Mobile is the fastest mobile service with 5G and millions of Wi-Fi hotspots. You heard that right. Xfinity just increased internet speeds again. And Xfinity Mobile gives you can't-catch-me speeds. The fastest internet, the fastest mobile service, and major savings? Can't argue with the facts. Now through March 21st, new customers can get started with 1.2 gig internet with unlimited data included. It's all just $50 a month for 2 full years with no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/faster, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular internet rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
There's a reason Golden State has become the trusted partner for professional builders and contractors. The breadth of what they offer is remarkable. Their product knowledge can save you time. They're the largest distributor in NorCal of many of the brands they carry. Golden State's newly refreshed app offers installation guides, building codes, and much more. And the GSTV link on their homepage is a useful resource. Family owned for 3 generations. Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Bud Light was brewed to be a delicious and easy-to-drink beer, even when the little things in life are hard. Like when the game is going into overtime, but you have even more time to enjoy it, and a fresh Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local retailer today. Drink responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Toyota, the MVP of MPG. With 11 fuel-efficient hybrids to choose from, there's one for everyone. Toyota, let's go places.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code FRIEND at checkout. That's harrys.com, code FRIEND. Enjoy.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. Warriors take out the Memphis Grizzlies 122-120. Stephen Curry gets ejected. Jordan Poole redeems himself. And all is good with the world. Warriors are 24-24, 8th seed in the West currently, and they need to start stacking some W's. The time is now. And the time is now for you at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570, Xfinity Mobile text line, YouTube chat. I want to hear from you. You feel better or worse about the Warriors' chances of winning the West after last night's win? And that one team, in honor of the Memphis Grizzlies, the one team that you cannot stand, that always gets under your skin no matter what. And it could even be a team that's playing bad and they just come to your building and you see that color and you see that jersey or you see that player and it just pisses you off. So that one team, and Sam Lubman, he just came in, producer extraordinaire for the Morning Roast, Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys. He's a big Giants fan, huge Giants fan, I should say. Might be the biggest Giants fan at this station. It might be him, Willard, Shasky. Like, those are the top three. But he was like, it's the Dodgers, not even close. It's like, okay, it's that blue. I get it. And then he went to Clippers, too. I'm surprised he didn't go some college team. He's a big Miami Hurricanes fan. He's a Miami Hurricane alum. I was like, what is it, Florida State, Florida? But the U hasn't been good for quite some time, so maybe the scars aren't there as much. But in fairness, the Dodgers, I think that playoff series, especially in that year, that season that they had a few years back, which seems like forever ago, if you're a Giants fan, and what culminated this offseason, and a lot of swings and misses. And by the way, pitchers and catchers reporting in a few weeks. Can't wait for that. Boy. Need these Niners to get to the Super Bowl so we don't have to start talking about pitchers and catchers, because this Giants season is going to be rough. Not Darren, just rough. 408 from the Xfinity Mobile text line. Dodgers and Niners, can't stand both of them. Okay. Fair enough. Can't stand, from the 415, can't stand Boston fans and the Celtics and the Patriots. Okay. Fair enough. Kind of had your own experience last year if you're a Warriors fan with those Boston Celtic fans. One of the more rowdy in sports fandom in American history. But you had them crying at home. You'll love to see that. That's the best part, too, about beating a fan base like the Boston fan base and doing it in their house. Ugh. Just the best. Chef's kiss. I know you always kind of want to celebrate at home, especially you want to be at and close to the team, but doing it and silencing a crowd like Steph Curry did to claim his 4th championship, to get his first finals MVP, that had to have been special. And to do it against that storied franchise, that had to have been special. And it was. And I think that was the sweetest championship of them all. if you're a Golden State Warriors fan. Vegas Knights from the 408. Okay. Little Sharks fan here, I'm sure. Is that the Sharks' biggest rival? The Vegas team now? After what went down, what was in the playoffs about 4 years ago? What do they call that? The major, minor, or whatever it is, where you have like a 5-minute penalty. I remember that. Covey and Shasky were doing a show and it happened, and Covey was going nuts in the studio. And we had, I think Tommy Call was doing his draft breakdown during the whole thing for the 49ers and all these players, and all Covey was just doing was going nuts because the Sharks ended up coming back from a huge deficit and beating them in the playoffs. So let me hear it. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. YouTube chat, the one team that you cannot stand. And right now, for a lot of Warriors fans, I think it was the Memphis Grizzlies, but after last night's win, whatever. Dylan Brooks, John Morant, Jaren Jackson. What's the coach's name? Taylor Jenkins. Like, I'm not worried about them. There's no other team I'm worried about in the West if we're going to put the rat on the table. Shout out Daryl the Guru Johnson. I'm not worried about any other team in the West if I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. Spadoni, they're not playing well. What are you talking about? Neither is anyone else in the West. And I'm going to be feeling pretty confident when I have Steph, Dre, and Clay, and Jordan Poole, and Jonathan Kuminga, and Dante DiVincenzo, and all these guys come playoff time. I'm going to like my chances in the West. You can have your Kawhis, your Paul Georges, your Jokic, your Murrays. If they make it, the LeBrons, the ADs. I like my chances with those three, the core three. So let me hear what you think at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Are you nervous after last night's win at all? Or are you saying, listen, we played a horrible game. We had 21 turnovers and still won. Like, we could beat anyone. We could also lose to anyone. And that's a scary thought for a fan. Again, goes back to Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Maybe that's a pregame show idea for the Golden State Warriors this season. We're still doing our pregame show merch ideas, and all ideas are welcome. Horrible ones, good ones, all of them. I kind of like a horrible idea. That could be our thing here. That is this mess on the pregame show from 5 to 6 with myself, Joe Spadoni. And by the way, you don't want to miss 957thegameshop.com. All that merch, getting ready for the NFC Championship. We have DPOY shirts for our guy Nick Bosa. May or may not be a silhouette of him. I don't think it is. Just as a player. We have the relevant t-shirts that are flying off like hotcakes at Mickey D's, which are underrated, by the way. My wife made fun of me because I like to order pancakes for breakfast at McDonald's sometimes. What's wrong with that? I like their pancakes with that clarified kind of butter, whatever that is. It's probably not real butter, but they pass it off like it is. And that syrup, oh, so good. Get a McGriddle too on the side. Now I'm hungry. There's a problem. 510. Which team in the West can beat the Dubs 4 out of 7 times? Answer, none of them. I agree. Now, I don't think a lot of fans will share my optimism when it comes to this, because I think a lot of fans are kind of, like me when it comes to my teams that I root for, a little pessimistic. That's how I was raised as a fan anyways. Or you could be on the polar opposite side like a guy like Mark Willard, who doesn't even have a panic meter when it comes to this Warriors team, because I think he's viewing it as through the lens that everything's all gravy at this point anyways, because they just want a title. But even if you just take a step back and just take a step back out of your fandom right now, what team scares you in the West? Legitimately frightens you in a 7-game series? If we were in the East, that'd be another story. If the Warriors had to play against the Bucks in a 7-game series or the Nets, yeah, that would concern me. Now, I know the Nets don't have KD right now, but you just see what the Nets did to you on Sunday with a healthy Kyrie Irving and a locked-in Kyrie Irving and a Kyrie Irving that's not spouting off ridiculousness. He's engaged. That's a scary team. And once Kevin Durant comes back and if and when he's healthy, they're legitimate title contenders. But there's not teams like that in the West that I'm frightened of. So let me know at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570, any team in the West that does frighten you, because I want to hear why. Steve Kerr, head coach of the Golden State Warriors, was talking about that final play call with Jordan Poole and said it was Draymond's idea.
Well, he suggested it, and I loved it, and we had enough guys out there who knew the play where we could sort through it. And there's a couple of good options out of it. And you hope that something works. But I think mainly Jordan made a great back cut and Dante made a hell of a pass.
Well, we know Draymond's basketball IQ is off the charts, probably one of the best, if not the best in the league. He has got a career in coaching if he wants to do it after his playing career, after his media career, whatever he wants to do there. I think he would make a great coach. He's just understands the nuances and levels of basketball that it's rare. It's rare. Maybe that goes back to playing at Michigan State under Tom Izzo, playing for 4 years, being a guy that was undersized, playing a big boy position, having to do all the little things right just to make it in the NBA. Well, it's paid off. And we've seen it in the past. What didn't he let Draymond coach a few years back during the KD years? Was that a Suns game? And Draymond had the whiteboard and he was just drawing up plays and Kerr just said, screw it. You guys can coach. And Draymond's like, all right. And he was just drawing up plays. You guys remember that? Oh, good times. Good times in the Golden State Warriors. We got one more segment here for you before tossing over to Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky in the Morning Roast. They got an action-packed show for you today. They got Angelo Cataldi at 7:20. Angelo Cataldi is one of the huge voices in Philadelphia, if not the voice of Philadelphia sports. 94 WIP in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. So he's coming on at 7:20 with the guys for the Morning Roast. We're going to take a quick break here. Come on back. The Crossover next with Joe Shasky. He'll join me. I want his thoughts on that crazy Warriors win. Once again, Warriors 122, Memphis Grizzlies 120. Warriors improved to 24-24. We'll be right back. This is the pregame show with Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
Eagles legend Brian Westbrook talks Eagles-Niners with Bonte and Shasky. Tomorrow morning at 7:30.
And picked up by Westbrook. Westbrook on the return. Here comes Westbrook. He's got a lead. Here comes Westbrook. He gets by. Brian Westbrook going all the way. Touchdown, Eagles. No flags now.
Brian Westbrook. Tomorrow morning at 7:30. Only on 95.7 The Game.
If your resolutions include more energy, stamina, fire in the bedroom, or losing weight once and for all, listen up. Thousands of proactive patients have met or exceeded these goals with the caring team at Balanced Medical Solutions, the Bay Area's premier vitality clinic dedicated to helping all patients enjoy long, healthy lives full of energy, vigor, and sexual satisfaction. Until the end of the month, mention this station to get an evaluation with comprehensive labs, including hormone tests for only $69. Call now 510-679-3300 or visit balancedmedicalsolutions.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Before new Cascade Platinum Plus, I would pre-rinse all my dishes because my old detergent just wouldn't get them clean. But now, I do dishes differently. And no pre-wash, no rewash, money-back guaranteed kind of different. Because Cascade Platinum Plus has double the grease-fighting power of Dawn built right in, with twice the scrubbing power, giving me a clean that lets me break all the dish rules. I just scrape, load, and I'm done. Yep. So clean. With Cascade Platinum Plus, I dare to dish differently.
It's the final days to save big store-wide at the Truckload event at Lowe's.
Right now, get deals on select major appliances and take home what you buy same day. And save an additional 10% on all in-store clearance appliances. Plus, get savings on even more items across the store, like up to 40% off select bathroom products. Hurry and head to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowes.com to shop the truckload event today. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowes.com for details. Valid 126 through 28.
Welcome back to Earth, folks. We hope you enjoyed your 8.5 minutes in orbit.
Technology lets you vacation in space, but to get work done on Earth, you need more than technology. You need CDW to design and manage a Cisco hybrid work solution that delivers the same secure network experience to all your satellite offices. And with consistent connectivity that empowers your team, they can collaborate from any space.
And no, you can't keep the helmet.
Cisco makes hybrid work possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Cisco.
Did you know Nissan EVs have traveled 8 billion miles? Just a quick trip to Pluto and back. And what did we learn along the way? Well, that an EV can take on the world, like the Nissan Leaf. It can move racing forward and take your breath away, like the all-new Nissan Ariya. We learned to make EVs that electrify. 8 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010. Ariya not yet available for purchase. Expected availability late fall, subject to change.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show, Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. One more segment for you here before tossing over to Vontae Hill and Joe Shasky. They'll have the voice of Philadelphia Sports Talk Radio, 94 WIP Zone, Angelo Cataldi at 7:30. You're not going to want to miss that. Always a good time when you're talking to the Philly guys. Niners, they're taking on the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday, 12 o'clock Pacific time. NFC Championship on the line. Trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Cannot wait for that. After that, it'll be Chiefs Bengals. Just an action-packed weekend. And what a way to get started, because Thursday's like the pre-weekend. It's like the pre-game for the weekend. I love a Thursday. And it's good to react to a win on a Thursday. Warriors 122, Memphis Grizzlies 120. Warriors improved to 24-24, and they take on the Toronto Raptors tomorrow. Just stumbled upon this, and I can't believe it's already been 3 years since Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash on January 26, 2020. It is the 3-year anniversary today, and along with his daughter Gianna, who unfortunately perished, and along with John Kerry and Alyssa Altobelli, Sarah and Peyton Chester, Christina Mauser, and Ara Zobayan. Just can't believe it's been 3 years. Remember where I was. Remember stumbling across the news early morning, just not hoping it was true. And those of you who know me, those of you who don't, Kobe was my favorite player. He's the reason I was a Laker fan growing up. And that was one of the more hard days of my life just to put into words and what he meant to me as a kid growing up. And I'm sure what he meant to a lot of people. So just needed to pass that along. 3-year anniversary of when Kobe Bryant passed away. And it was a moment. It was a moment we had all together. I remember it when it happened. It was, I think, Whitey and who else was on the station with it? It was Whitey Gleason and Tommy Call. And just, they handled it as well as you could. Just going through the news, sifting through the news. Is it true? Is it not? What's going on? And his legacy and what he meant for so many players and so many people, him and his daughter Gianna, and all the unfortunate victims in that just horrible, horrible accident. Just, we'll never forget them. And again, just wanted to pass along 3-year anniversary of that. So continue to think about him, his daughters, John, Carrie, Alyssa, Sarah, Peyton, Christina, Nara. Switching back, as one can only do with such a horrible subject and sad subject. But again, we celebrate who Kobe and Gianna and John, Carrie, and Alyssa, and Sarah, Peyton, Christina, Ara, all of them, who they were, and the legacy that they left behind. The Warriors, as Joe Shasky walks into the building here, decked out in his Niner gear. It's good. It's Niners all week long for Joe, the Butcher Boy Shasky. And Joe, do you feel better or do you feel worse about the Warriors' chances in the West after that win last night? Because on one hand, hey, you got the win against the number 2 seed in the West currently. But on the other, 21 turnovers. Jordan Poole totally redeemed himself. But what'd you make of that?
I mean, what part?
Just
what part?
The whole game. What'd you make of it? It was it was a beautiful mess, I guess is how you can
absolutely.
say it. Right?
I mean, this team is so weird. They're just the weirdest team ever.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde is what
Draymond calling the circle play. I'm not even trying to like pretend. I legitimately run that play with my 6th grade boys team, right? Like that circle play. It's a very simple play. And usually the first guy that's curling off that play is the guy that everyone thinks is going to get the ball. And you're going to have that screener, or that person. In this case, because Jordan Poole's such a dynamic 3-point shooter because of the NBA, you're honoring the 3-point shot and you're totally forgetting about the backdoor draw, where he's cutting straight to the block. It's a beautifully designed play on a variety of levels, but it's a very basic play. And I love that. I love that they use that and that worked. The whole sequence with the shooting and the mouthpiece. I mean, dear God, can we just letter of the law people? The letter of the law people, take a hike. Today's not the day.
Well, I hate that it's just an instant injection. And I made this comparison, and we're going to allow spectators and a guy like Shannon Sharp.
You're thinking like me.
To almost fight players on the court. Allow him to walk into the tunnel. Oh, no, I'm good. And then come back on the court and then continue to taunt them. But heaven forbid Steph Curry throws his mouthpiece, not at a person, just on the side.
In frustration because his teammate shot a 3 that was absolutely horrific given the situational, going on the court. I mean, there's a variety of things. First off, they jacked up, and it wasn't just Jordan Poole, because there were other possessions earlier in the, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to go. Clay's jacking up shots early in the shot clock. It's just very frustrating. DiVincenzo jacking up a shot early in the shot clock. I don't know what their rush was last night.
It was weird.
But neither here nor there. Your point stands because remember the 0 tolerance on leaving the bench?
Yeah.
Well, where are all the Memphis ejections from leaving the bench to go fight with Shannon Sharp?
Yep. Yeah.
How many guys got off the bench to go over there?
Oh, like the whole team.
Exactly. So in that circumstance, 0 tolerance doesn't apply. But in Steph Curry's, but that's my biggest problem with the refereeing in general. That is a microcosm of hack on one end, no call, breathe on a guy on the opposite end. He's getting 3 free throws.
Steph was getting hacked the whole game. I just was going through all the highlights and stuff like that. And there was multiple times Steph, a runner, he was just doing a little runner off of like a bank shot.
Yeah.
Just looking for, dude, I just got bumped.
Yeah.
I just got bumped, multiple times. And I think that was a culmination, saying Jordan Poole there at the end. And Steph being like, what the hell, man? So, listen, they won the game. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But the turnovers, 21 turnovers and still winning, I'm sorry. I cannot take, the Memphis Grizzlies or anyone else in the West seriously. If you're going to allow Golden State Warriors to have 21 turnovers and still win the game, I'm taking the Warriors over any other team still. And I know that's weird to say.
Yeah,
after probably like. There's not one team in the West that scares me. And the Warriors, they're looking at the Memphis Grizzlies like that's a cute team, cute little story. But
you know who their number one rival is? It's themselves.
Yes. It's them against the ball, right?
It's themselves, especially in late game situations. They get too cute. They get too lackadaisical. They get caught up in the one-on-ones. Like there's a variety of things that their own inner workings in terms of the egos and the shot selection. Actually, I thought their shot selection was really good last night.
No, they were moving the ball great.
Yeah, they blended attacking the hoop and shooting the three quite well last night. Jonathan Kuminga left-handed dunk.
Dude, just flying in the air. I felt a little Jordan vibe when he was just in the air that long. He could have kept going, and then just the strength.
He's so sick.
They missed his athleticism.
100%.
And I know he had 4 turnovers and whatnot, but his athleticism was sorely missed, and it gives everyone else around him a boost.
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah.
There's just the Warriors.
It's a lot to. Well,
you're a married man. I want to ask you a question.
I am a married man.
I want to ask you a question. All right. So last night, my wife says, and I always dread these things, I'm going to leave my car at work. So, all right, and you can leave her car. We have my niece at a Bruce Mahoney basketball game. So we're all going to USF, War Memorial Gym, for the oldest rivalry west of the Mississippi. Okay, and it's the girls' game was going to be last night. So they had the JV game at either 5:30 or 6, and then
at the Hilltop.
Yes, and then
that's a nice gym. I haven't been. Yeah.
Incredible. Okay. It's incredible. I'll show you one of the videos. And then the girls' varsity game was going to be at 7:30. And so she's a sophomore. She's in the starting lineup. We all want to get there early. She's like, I'm just going to take an Uber from work.
Okay, where's her work at?
Here, like right down the block.
Oh, so
at a corporate Big Jean company.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay. And she leaves the car there. So what does she say? I'll get a ride with you in the morning. So, all right. You got to be ready early. Now, why is it when you say a time with a woman, you should say 15 to 25 minutes earlier?
I had this exact thing last week at Benny's basketball.
Am I the bad guy?
No. Exact thing. Jade, I hope you're not listening. I'm sure you're sleeping with the kids right now. But last week at Benny's basketball camp, he starts at 4:30. This is in Moraga.
Okay.
We live in East Oakland. There is traffic, either if you're going through the mountain pass or through the tunnel.
So you're
there's going to be so much traffic. 3:45, that's the latest. That's when I want to. I think 4 is fine. We're going to get there. No, there's traffic. You don't understand. No, I think 4 is fine. Okay.
You're creating anxiety that doesn't need to be created.
Yes. And then it's my fault. And then halfway there, oh man, we're going to be late. Have to bite my tongue. I can't say I told you so, Joe. I can't say that because then I'm a mean guy. So I can't say I told you so. But and then all you have to say is, "Yep, that's it."
Now there are men that do this as well. Lucas Alexander, for example,
fight on.
Chronically late.
Oh yes,
like I legitimately
cheater on the golf course too.
I legitimately will tell him a half an hour to 45 minutes earlier than whatever time, and tell him I swear to God we're leaving at this time, just because I know I'm building in his 30-minute excuse of wherever the hell he is.
Is that the Daryl the Guru Johnson excuse? Or does Goo not show up?
That's a whole nother different
It's a whole nother
But so like today, for example.
He was at the game though last night. I love when Goo's at the game. Yeah, he was giving me play-by-play.
Oh.
That's when I know Goo's at the game, is when he's giving me 2 fouls, Curry, 1 minute. I was like, I know Goo. I'm watching the game too.
He's doing his sideline reporter
God,
thing.
I love him.
I do too. But like for example, I'll just I'm throwing out different times. Hun, be ready to go. We're leaving at 5:15. Now leaving at 5:15, for example, means I'm in the car, dressed and ready, pulling out of the driveway.
Yes.
At 5:15.
Yes.
Not I'm grabbing my bags, we're walking out the door at 5:15, because that means we're leaving at 5:20. Yes. Am I crazy? Am I wrong here?
No, you're absolutely right. And it's a thing you just have to deal with, unfortunately.
I know, it drives me nuts.
Because if you
it throws my routine off.
If you say anything, it's like, don't rush me. No. Like I don't like to feel rushed. That's what it always turns into a Jade.
You said 5:15. No, that means we are leaving.
Yes.
I have a routine in the morning.
It turns into, I'm just getting all the stuff ready. So I'm getting Benny's clothes on. I'm getting baby Nora in her car seat, all this stuff. I'm getting my clothes. I'm getting everything packed and ready. We're all just waiting for, I feel rushed. You guys are rushing me. I was like, no, we're just being ready.
Exactly.
To go. You're not getting rushed. We're sitting, we're watching TV. We're just all ready. You're not. You're just projecting your anxieties. I hope she's not listening because I'm going to get chewed out.
Oh, I'm going to get in big trouble. I'm letting you know this right now. I'm going to get in big trouble.
Angelo Cataldi, 720. Can't wait for that. He's like the guy for Philly sports talk, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for him.
Him and Howard Eskin, I think, are the two guys. I think
Eskin's more like reporter style.
He is.
Whereas Cataldi has got more of this feel where he's like the voice of the city.
Okay. He's got the pulse.
As I bestow the voice of San Francisco on me and Bonte.
Well, yeah, talking to the king of various sports. That's what's going to happen next. The king next with the Jester. Is that who you are?
Oh, yes, sir.
Dude, that was a great impression yesterday. Gave me Game of Thrones vibes. That's Joe Shasky. He's coming up next. Bonte Hill, Angelo Cataldi, 94 WIP 720. You're not going to want to miss that. And as you know, that's brought to you by the Bud Light guest line. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Just like the pregame show, 95.7 The Game with Joe Spadoni.
I like it.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.